Good morning, students. Welcome back to class 9 mathematics. We are going to start a new chapter today, chapter number 7, quadrilaterals. This is part 1. Hope all of you have understood thoroughly all the geometry chapters, which are very important, before going forward to quadrilaterals. So we started with Euclid's introduction to Euclid's geometry, then moved to lines and angles. Then we learned some theorems about triangles. Then we did some constructions. Now after that we are now moving into quadrilaterals. So please understand all the previous 4 chapters are very important before going forward to quadrilaterals. So I hope all of you have completed learning and practicing and completing all the exercises, questions, examples, all whatever has been taught before going forward. If you have not completed, don't continue with this video. Complete those chapters, complete all the 4 chapters thoroughly, understand very well, and then come to this chapter, come to this video. Otherwise, this again will further confuse you and you will not be able to learn anything. Now let us move forward. This is section 7.1, Introduction. So the last chapter we summarized, last video we summarized the entire chapter of constructions. In this video we will learn about basics and classification of quadrilaterals, understand the need for learning about quadrilaterals, and discuss what all we will be learning in this chapter. A quadrilateral is a closed figure obtained by joining 4 points with not more than 2 of them being collinear. So there is a figure, and hope all of you already know basics of quadrilaterals. Even then I feel that it is better we again review and understand before we start proving some theorems and learning further about quadrilaterals. So let us see what is there in figure 1. I am marking points 1, A, next point B, then C, then D. What are you seeing here? With not more than 2 of them being collinear. Collinear means in the same line. So here A and B are collinear. You can see that, whereas C is slightly off that line and D is further off. So let us now join the lines and join the points and see what is happening. A to B, B to C, C to D, and D to A. Now you can see there are 4 angles. Angle A, angle B, you can see it is close to 180 degrees, but just for your understanding only I have made it almost straight to mean that it is not straight. Then C, there is an angle, D, there is one angle. So there are 4 angles and there are 4 sides. So this is a quadrilateral. So now we are moving forward from triangle where there were 3 sides and 3 angles to 4 sides and 4 angles, which is called a quadrilateral. The quadrilateral definition, one more definition, a quadrilateral can also be defined as a 4-sided polygon. No 2 of them are collinear and do not intersect except at their ends. So that means now initially first point is we saw about the points. This point we are seeing about the lines. So AB is one line, BC is one line. So AB and BC are not collinear. Similarly BC and CD, similarly DA, CD and DA, and DA and AB. So there are 4 lines. All the 4 lines are not collinear with each other and they also do not intersect with each other except they meet at the ends. So this is another definition. A closed figure with 3 out of 4 points. Now coming back to the first paragraph, if I have written that no 2, not more than 2. Suppose if 3 are collinear, what will happen? That will become a triangle. Let us see the figure. Now I am drawing A, B, C also making collinear. So what happens? Now let us join AB, BC, CD, DA. Now it has become a triangle because ABC is one side. B is just a point on the side AC. AC is one side, CD is another side, DA is third side. So 3 sides, 3 angles, and it's a triangle. So this is just for your understanding. I hope all of you already know this. In case you have doubts, you just pause the video, note down this point and then go to the next page. But the first paragraph is important. In wherever define quadrilateral means, it is always better to write the first paragraph. Let's move forward. Some more points on the basics. A quadrilateral like a triangle has three parts: sides, vertices and angles, but each 4 instead of 3 in a triangle. So vertices, I have just put my face there, but you know the spelling VRTICES, that is plural of vertex. Singular is vertex, plural means vertices. You have to always use CES, not vertice but vertices. And angles, but each 4 of them, instead of 3 in a triangle, we are going to have 4. So let us see that AB, BC, CD and DA. There are 4 sides. Vertices A, B, C and D. 4 vertices are there. Similarly, 4 angles are there. All 4 are there. All the 3 components are 4. And then, in addition, a quadrilateral also has a 4th part, 2 diagonals, which are obtained by joining the opposite vertices. So in that joining diagram, AC and BD are the 2 diagonals. So these are the 4 parts of a quadrilateral, and 3 parts are having 4 each and diagonal is having 2. This is important. You can pause the video, note down these points and then go to the next page. Now classification of quadrilaterals. Quadrilaterals can be classified into 2 main quadrilateral: convex quadrilateral, that is in figure 1, and concave quadrilateral, that is figure 2. Figure 2 is in next page. When it comes, I will explain to you. The figure what is given here is a convex quadrilateral. This is a convex quadrilateral. In this chapter, we will be discussing about convex quadrilaterals only. We will not be discussing about concave. Unless specifically concave is mentioned in any of this in this chapter, wherever simply quadrilateral means, it is always what is shown in this figure 1, that is convex quadrilaterals. Unless suppose wherever I refer as concave quadrilateral, I refer to concave quadrilateral, I will specifically mention it is a concave quadrilateral. Otherwise, you can presume it is only a convex quadrilateral. We'll go to the next page. In concave quadrilaterals, at least one angle will be greater than 180 degrees and one diagonal will be outside the quadrilateral. You need not learn too much about this, just this is for understanding. In case you see a figure like this, then you will know that it is a concave quadrilateral. For that only I am explaining a little in detail, but this is the only page you will see about concave quadrilaterals in the entire chapter. In all the videos put together, this is going to be the only page where you will see concave quadrilateral. Once I finish this page, you can just pass and note down, just for reference only. Need not study about this. So now let us take point A, B, C. There are 4 points are there. I am going to join AB, BC, CD and DA. I am putting some shaded portion also. Let us see the next paragraph. Okay, I am putting one angle also. So now angle D is CDA is greater than 180 degrees. I have not put angle D because angle D can be in between also. I have put the symbol also here for you to understand. It is CDA because the reason is, we will see again in the next paragraph. I am putting diagonals also, AC, BD. In figure 2, angle CDA is greater than 180 degrees and diagonal AC is outside the quadrilateral. You can note here the shaded portion is not part of the quadrilateral. The quadrilateral is inside the portion, that is, you can see here, I will just show this portion only is a quadrilateral. There is a white portion only is quadrilateral. This shaded portion is not a part of the quadrilateral. So now the definition, if you go back, at least one angle will be greater than 180 degrees and one diagonal, that is here diagonal AC is outside whereas BD is inside. So both the conditions are satisfied. This is a concave quadrilateral. You can just pause the video, note down these points for future reference and then you can move forward. So why should we learn about quadrilaterals? If you look around, we can see that almost all the objects, book, table, blackboard, etc., and the surfaces, if you see an agricultural field, a wall, a floor, etc., are in the shape of quadrilateral. Anything you take, whatever you see will be in the shape of a quadrilateral. We have discussed already about practical use of triangles, fencing of agricultural fields, painting of walls, etc. These are very, very few practical examples we discussed, but there are plenty. Everything is only quadrilateral in the earlier chapters. Since triangular shape was discussed for understanding the properties of triangles, which will be used in other polygons, including quadrilaterals. So we discussed triangular shape, right? Whenever we are discussing, I was telling mainly for the future higher sized polygons, higher dimensional polygons, it will be useful. And since most of the objects and surfaces are rectangle in shape, which is also a quadrilateral, knowledge on quadrilaterals is a must for almost all calculations. So this is a very brief reason I have written why we are learning about quadrilaterals, because we already discussed in detail in triangles chapter, which of course is going to be used extensively in quadrilaterals. So since we know triangles, we know the theorems, so we will apply that to quadrilateral, and since every item, every object what you see will be in a quadrilateral shape. So quadrilateral knowledge will be important for making any calculations for any, whether it is an agricultural field, whether it is a wall, whether it is a drawing, whether it's a construction, road. You can take any object, any surface, always all will be ultimately quadrilateral in shape. So in this chapter, we will learn briefly about different types of quadrilaterals and major differences between them. Because again, we saw now classification, concave and convex. We are going to see what are all the different types of convex quadrilaterals. Learn about properties of quadrilaterals, especially parallelograms, which are also quadrilaterals. So in this chapter, although we will be discussing about the types of quadrilaterals, subsequently we will be discussing only about parallelograms. The reason is, okay, I have not written the reason. The reason is whatever square, rectangle, all are basically parallelograms, and parallelogram is nothing but a quadrilateral. So we will, when we review about properties of quadrilaterals, we will also discuss about parallelograms. Prove theorems related to parallelograms using already known theorems about lines and angles and triangles. So as I told, since the chapters of whatever chapters geometry we have studied earlier is going to be very important, since unless you know lines and angles and triangles theorems, you will not be able to understand the properties of quadrilaterals. You will not be able to understand when we prove the theorems related to parallelograms. So you should first understand lines and angles and triangles thoroughly, which of course also related to chapters of Euclid and constructions. Then you will be able to understand this chapter easily. Prove some theorems related to triangles. Here we will see again at the end of the chapter, we will be seeing couple of theorems related to triangles. You can note down if you want, otherwise at the end of the chapter also we will again reviewing all these things. We'll move forward. So in this chapter, we have learnt about basics and classification of quadrilaterals. There are two classifications we saw, concave and convex. Understood the need for learning about quadrilaterals and discuss what all we will be learning in this chapter. In the next video, we will learn about angle sum property of a quadrilateral. Questions? As usual, again, since this being the first video, I am telling what you should do. Note down all the questions. If you have doubt, if you are able to answer these questions, well and good. Otherwise, go through the video again, go through all the notes you have taken, and then close the video, close the notes, everything close, take only the exercises, sit in a quiet place, write all the answers for these 5 questions. It will not take more than 10-15 minutes, and then only you should cross check whether what you have written is correct or not. Don't in between open the video or see the notes to write the answers. If you do like that, you will not be able to understand or learn properly. That's all for this video. Thank you.